AM 560, The Answer.
I can't remember nothing, no. But the good time we used to share.
It's my guy right there. That's how you know it's Friday. You could have bought another Rolex, Teddy. Chase the hooker that stole his Rolex. Hit a tree with a Rolls Royce. But you're going to hit a tree, squirrel. It's the Rolls Royce you want to be in. Mitchell in Des Plaines.
Hey, Shaun, I don't know if you know this, but, the mayor, that fruitcake, the mayor of Minnesota, did you ever see the footage of him at the George Floyd funeral? Where he
what do you think, you're
shows up,
talking to some moron Democrat? Of course I saw it. Nuts?
So,
crying with his shoulders like it was his grandmother.
Right.
Yeah.
No, it's the most contrived artificial act, and it shows you how low they'll go. He's sobbing as if George Floyd was the Messiah. It is hysterical. Between him and the fruitcake governor, this is the mentality of why they're in such problems. Not to mention all the rest of the Democratic, sewers that you talk about. But that's the mentality. They'll do anything to get, to virtue signal.
I have to tell you, if you've seen the documentary, I think it's Minneapolis on Fire or whatever it is. They have the vest footage of the police that arrested that filthy rapist, drug dealing, counterfeit money passing scumbag. Did you know, Mitchell? He was in the squad car and he insisted that they lay him down on the ground. Did you know that?
Yeah, and by the way, that I want to ask you this, but also on top of that, you realize that he was set up. There was a much deeper rabbit hole of what George Floyd was. There were a lot of people behind him at that time in 2020 that used him for a specific outcome, and you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, well, he was a long time in and out, well-known piece of dung. And
right.
People don't realize he was a rapist. He kidnapped the girl, held the pregnant, and here he is. They give him $30 million, bust out scumbag. He didn't even know his daughter. Filthy piece of dung that he is. Well, here's the good news. He's coming up on 6 years sober, Mitchell. Thank you very much. It's the only way that scumbag was going to get sober. Andrew, Cherville, Indiana.
What do Madonna and the Alsip Swaparama flea market have in common?
Oh, boy. Warts?
They both had a lot of Mexicans inside of them.
Oh, bump. Thank you very much. Glenn in Orlando.
Yeah, Shaun. The problem that we have in Florida is these Democratic states that rig elections, and they also rig the census so they get the House of Representatives in their favor. So we need voter ID for every state mandatory, and we need to redo the census to get an accurate count on what the population is, especially since the Democrats are losing population in states.
There's that Luna, the congresswoman from Florida.
Anna Luna.
Yeah, she is insisting on the SAVE Act, which is exactly what that is. You have to bring integrity to the electoral system. But I will say this, Glenn, and this is the part that really, when I was in awe, when you saw what DeSantis did down here during COVID and all of the lie, scum, fraud that were perpetrated during COVID, and how down here none of that applied. None of that applied. To me, I agree. Listen, it affects us. Of course it does. But look at how we and there's a handful of other states survived during American dark ages when Joe Biden and the Democrats stole the presidential election. So, by the way, they stole other elections. They stole the Senate election. They stole the Arizona election. That's what they do. They're thieves. I mean, how many more times here? Wait.
You're okay. You're not going to get COVID if you have these vaccinations.
These vaccines are highly, highly effective.
Vaccinated people do not carry the virus, don't get sick.
And by the way, there are tens of millions of morons that still are unaware of what that thing really does.
But a recent paper just came out. They found that infants, 2-month-old infants, if they got all 6 of the CDC recommended vaccines compared to the unvaccinated, they suffered about a 68% increased odds of dying in the following month compared to the unvaccinated. So it appears that not only, and so there's been 12 studies now comparing vaccinated to unvaccinated. All 12 found the same thing. Vaccinated individuals are far sicker They have more chronic disease, more autoimmune disease, more neurodevelopmental disorders, more autism, more speech delays, speech disorders, more.
So not only has Big Pharma poisoned our kids and ourselves, but the government was the catalyst during COVID. I mean, you're talking some earth-shattering stuff. So if you're in a state that said, no, 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 like our state, that's the place to live. And, you know, that's what all the decent people should go to the decent states, and all the indecent, all the wretched should go to Illinois. What do you think of that?
Well, I think that's a good idea, but I think these states that claim they have so much population and are lying about it need to be held accountable because they don't deserve the representation in Congress.
No, well, that's for stealing our money. And that's the beauty of what Trump needs to do. There shall be no, let's pretend I can decree it. There shall be no money given to any sanctuary state that has decided to nullify any one of the federal laws. What do you think of that?
I think that we should do it. We
Let
should
it be
do
written.
it and quit messing around.
So it has been said, let it be written, let it be done. I love Hugh Brunner. Bald. Roberto, Bloomingdale.
Shaun, I hope you're having a nice warm night tonight. It's very cold out here, -8.
I'm going to go for a nice walk after the show and take pictures of the stars. Yeah, I'm going to have a good day. You know why? Because it isn't the weather. It is not the weather. Yeah. It's the decent people that surround me, except for those morons that come down during season from Maine and Vermont and those idiots from Ontario. Yeah. Stay away from them. Make me aggravated even seeing, and God forbid I see an Illinois plate. But go ahead.
Yeah, that's for sure. But, you know, first of all, on your earlier comment about the illegal Cuomo, when it's illegal immigration, I'm sorry, illegal is illegal is illegal. But here's the question I want to ask you. How come Bill and Hillary are not in jail for contempt of Congress? If we did that, if you did that and I did that, they would have us locked up and thrown
for the same reason they're not in jail. They're the same reason they're not in jail for stealing billions of dollars from just Haiti. Forget about the money laundering scheme the Clinton Foundation was when the Duchess of Chaffington was in her upper echelon position under the Obama administration. It was a money laundering scheme. They don't go to jail because among slow-thinking sloth welfare roaches known as Democrats, they're gods. And they'll vote for that dog-faced pig, Chelsea, given the chance. Believe me, they will. They will. And you know why, Robert? I've been doing a lot of research. It's not the ideology. It's not the communism or the Marxism. It's that ugly people stick together. They're ugly.